If you're responding in 5 minutes, you're already late. That's the entire point of this episode. In episode 1, we talked about how brand and trust really matter. Now, we're going to talk about what happens next. Because brand gets you the opportunity, but speed is what captures it. Let me say something clearly. Most roofing contractors do not have a lead problem. I see this all the time in the groups. I need more leads, blah, 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 blah. It's insane. And then I'll call their business. I have done this. I've tested them. I've called them and they do not answer or they get a voicemail. So most roofing contractors do not have a lead problem. They have a response problem. They spend money on marketing and they get mad at the marketers. They generate the leads. Then they lose them because nobody responded fast enough. That's not marketing. That's execution. This is what's really happening when a homeowner reaches out. Most of the time, it feels like an emergency. That's the homeowner. Something's coming in their roof. Even if it's not technically an emergency, it feels like one. They see a leak. They see a stain on the ceiling. They hear dripping. They're worried about the damage to their home. And when people feel urgency, whether it's good or bad, they want reassurance fast. I can't tell you how many times customers said things to us and to our team like, "You actually answered the phone," or "That was a really fast response," or "I can't believe you responded at 7:30 at night." Now, do I want our team to work 24/7? No, I do not. You have to set systems in place to actually answer and put people on the schedule. Automations. We'll get to that another time, but speed to lead. But one of my favorites is, "You're the only roofer who actually responded when we had a leak in our house. We won immediately. Doesn't matter the price at that point. We won." All those comments, they just happened over and over again. And that's when I realized that speed isn't just a tactic. It isn't just a fancy thing. Speed is the experience people want. When someone reaches out to a roofing company, they're not casually shopping like they're buying a couch most of the time. They're usually stressed or there's some concern. They may be shopping, but they're probably worried about the inside of their home getting damaged more. They want help right now. So the first contractor who responds professionally, instantly becomes the safe choice. It immediately increases their expectations for everyone else. And here's something that's really important. If you respond fast enough, you actually slow down the homeowner from contacting more competitors because the moment that they feel taken care of, their urgency drops way down. And when their urgency drops, they stop shopping as aggressively. So speed literally reduces competition. If you can understand this, your speed will reduce your competition. We saw this constantly. Homeowners are changing their expectations. We'd show up and the homeowner would say, "Honestly, we were going to call a few more companies, but you got back to us so fast, we just stuck with you." That was a very common response we got. That's not luck. That's not professionalism. Those all help. But when you respond fast, that is your system design. Let's talk numbers for a second because this entire series is about gross profit. It's hitting your first $1 million of gross profit. Average roof, $12,000 to $15,000. Let's call it $13,500. At a 40% gross profit margin, that was us a lot. We were between 38 and 42. That's roughly $5,000 in gross profit per job. So every lead you lose because you responded too slowly is about $5,000 walking away. That's real money. So here's the big mindset shift. Speed does not mean minutes. Speed means instant. I'll give you an example. Between 30 and 42 seconds. That's instant now. You can't be minutes. Realistically, within 30 seconds, the homeowner should be receiving something, a text message coming from your phone, not some random 6-digit number that's get 20% off on your blue jeans. And then also, thanks for reaching out to it's a real number, local real number coming from a team member's phone. Then they get an email from the same person. Then an AI agent also responds with that person's voice, 24/7, something that says, "We got you." It takes the urgency away. Now, there's all kinds of scripts that we have. There's all kinds of things like that that matters because what you say in that moment does matter. That moment matters to that homeowner. I want to emphasize this. It doesn't matter what lead source it comes from. It doesn't. It has to be all of them. It can be a website form. It can be a phone call. It can be a Google ad. It can be a Facebook ad. It can be a referral. Currently, the way AI stands, all of our automations and everything, you're probably going to be having a really good person in the office that answers immediately during business hours. Outside of that, when a lot of people make decisions and there are leaks in people's houses, all of those things, all those lead sources have to be responded to instantly. It can be referral. It can be direct mail. Every single lead source should trigger an immediate response. No exceptions. Stop what you're doing right now and just look at all the ways you get leads. Make sure that that funnel of lead flow has an instant response 24/7, every single day. So here's what elite speed looks like today. Lead comes in. Within seconds, text message goes out. Within seconds, email confirmation goes out. AI agent or automated system responds. Again, local phone number, a member of your team going directly to their phone. It can be office manager, it can be sales manager, however your organization is set up. It goes from their phone number, not some random number. If it's during business hours, a phone call attempt follows quickly within a couple minutes. Then the clear next step is offered. Usually a link to an appointment. They click on a link. Appointment gets scheduled fast. That is what professional looks like in 2026. But let's be honest. Most companies still rely on someone remembering to call back or waiting for voicemail or any number of excuses. That's not a system. That's just hoping that they won't call somebody else or hoping that you can convince them to be their fourth roofer in their house. But hope is not scalable. Whether you want to be a $3 million company, $5 million company, it doesn't matter. You can't have hope. You have to have systems. When we tightened up our speed to lead, something interesting happened. Our close rates went up. Our marketing felt cheaper. Like our customer acquisition cost was way cheaper. Sales reps also felt less stressed because they were getting better leads. The people were happier and we got more of them. Now, it's just because they weren't chasing cold leads anymore. They weren't talking to people who still felt urgency because we'd taken that all away from those customers. Speed also preserves the momentum in your business. Another thing that we noticed is that when homeowners got instant responses, they treated us differently. It was immediately a better relationship. They assumed that we were organized. They assumed that we were successful. They assumed that we knew what we were doing. It's all part of trust.
Here's how roofers make it home for dinner every single night without losing a single sale, even when they're one-man shows. Automate your communication with ProLine, the only communication-first CRM for roofers. Because when you fix your communication, you'll sell more jobs. Your weekends will smell more like sunscreen and backyard barbecues than that crappy gas station coffee. And all you got to do is ask these roofers.
Where we had about 200% growth, and I attribute that to incorporating ProLine.
But just with one automation, I was able to get 25 Google reviews.
It's been absolutely insane how quickly we were able to grow.
Now, ProLine's not going to win the beauty pageant, but it will save your Saturday. Now, back to the show.
That fast response creates perceived professionalism. A slow response creates doubt. So let me clarify something that's really important. Speed alone is not enough. Fast and sloppy is bad. Doesn't work. You've got to actually have a really, really professional response. If you're confusing, it's also bad. The speed has to feel elite, the best in your business. It must be clear communication. It must be professional tone. It has to be confident. That homeowner should feel calm after hearing from you. They should feel like this person responded. They may even know it's an automation because it's after hours, but they know that they're getting what they want. They're moving one step closer to their solution, stopping that leak or getting the roof replaced. Just remember what we said in episode 1. The brand creates expectation. Your speed confirms it. If your brand looks elite, but you respond slowly, then the trust drops instantly. They're like, oh, this is a beautiful brand, but they just don't answer their phone. That doesn't work. They must go hand in hand. If your brand looks elite and you respond instantly, you become the obvious choice. It happened to us over and over again. But here's the deeper reason that speed wins. Humans trust momentum. When someone responds immediately, our brain says they're on top of things. When someone responds late, our brain says they're disorganized. You don't get a second chance at that first impression. You just don't. So let me challenge you with something practical. Go test your own company. I did all the time. And we were working on this system all the time. I'm not talking about like every 6 months. I'm talking about like a lot. Test your people, test your systems. Make sure that you are delivering on that speed promise. So go fill out your website form. Call your office, social media. How fast do you respond? More importantly, how does it feel? Does it feel professional? Does it feel confident? Because you need to be real with yourself. You may not be your ideal customer, but you need to understand your ideal customer because that's exactly what your ideal customer experience is. So let's recap. Speed is not just fast response. Speed is reassurance. Speed is professionalism. Speed protects your marketing spend. It lowers your acquisition costs drastically. For your sales reps, speed increases those close rates. We all want that. And speed is one of the easiest way to increase your gross profit without buying more leads. Here's the reality. You can build trust. You can. You can respond instantly with every lead source. You can sell a lot of roofs. You can do that, all those things, and you can still lose money. How do you still lose money with doing all those things right? Because profit is protected after the sale. In the next episode, we're going to talk about operational discipline, how production systems, job costing, and execution protects your profit margins so you don't work hard for nothing. If you remember one thing today, remember this. When a homeowner reaches out, it feels like emergency to them. We do roofing all the time, but to them, they've never done this or probably never done this. It feels like an emergency. The company that responds first usually wins, not in 5 minutes, instantly. Go make it happen.